Falcon fans, Falcon faithful, welcome back to Dirty Fanatics United. I am your host, C Money, followed by my awesome panel of co-hosts, Rick, Robert, David, and Cody. Tonight, ready to talk some Falcon football. Falcon fans, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, and definitely bring your comments to the comment section, guys. We have a lot of topics to chat about tonight. Cody with the Mario in the background. Power up. Rick, what's going on, man? It's been a minute since we had you on the show, brother. Glad to have you back with us here tonight, talking some Falcon football training camp right in the midst of everything. Falcons are tackling at camp, Falcon fans. I don't know if you've seen the headlines, but the Atlanta Falcons are getting nasty and rowdy at Flowery Branch. Rick, what's going on? How are we feeling about these Dirty Birds here in mid-season training camp form with the new injuries, with the new departures? How are we feeling about these Atlanta Falcons, brother?
Toxic, man. I feel so good. I feel so bad. I feel good. I feel bad. I feel good. Going into it, we had a quarterback concern, and I was really excited. I mean, we have a pretty strong front-end team. Now, could there be some depth issues we have to work on, maybe some right tackle issues, things like that? Quarterback, I'm like, dude, Tua's getting too much disrespect. If he can just show up, we'll be good. And then the Jalen Walker thing happened, and then the Bijan thing happened, and now the Justin Bates thing, and I'm just like, I don't need that energy in my life. I want to go in game one, let's go. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And now you're kind of like, all right, let's wait and see, guys. I hope it all works out. I hate that feeling.
Yeah, definitely a knife to the gut when the Jalen Walker news scrolled across the phone, and definitely a tough podcast to even run, finding out that news about Jalen Walker, because, man, what year two is going to bring for that guy. Kadoria in the chat with it early with the finally, DFU is back. Finally, we were back on the TV screen. Appreciate you tuning in. Kadoria says, rise up. Hello, rise up. Appreciate the comments. Bring your questions to the chat, guys. We got a lot of great topics, and I want to be sure to get everybody's opinion in on these topics. Shout out to all 5 live viewers. Hit that like button. Tag a Falcon friend. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. We're at 772 subscribers. Our goal by the end of this month, guys, is 800. So if we can get there, guys, hit that subscribe button, man. Subscribe. We're trying to reach that 800 by the end of this month. 1K is the goal. Cody, what's going on, man? Glad to have you back for another Dirty Fanatics United podcast. Cody, how are we feeling, man? It's been a week since we talked Falcon football, about a week and a couple of days probably. A lot of news has dropped. A lot of new things have happened. A lot of James Pierce Jr. suspension rumors flying around the room. A lot of things as far as news coming out of camp. As we just spoke about, Kevin Stefanski has the Dirty Birds tackling in August, guys. So we have a lot to talk about here tonight. Cody, how are we feeling about the Dirty Birds? And, just are you happy with what you're hearing right now, or are we a little worried at this point of the season?
Well, like Rick said, you get, good news because you get Bijan back in the morning, and then you find out later that afternoon, hey, well, guess what? You just lost Jalen Walker for the rest of the season. But then you get some good news because Troy Anderson's been let go, and that might save you some money down the road. And then you get, bad news that, Jesse Bates is possibly hurt, with a high ankle sprain. And then you get some good news because the Falcons are tackling in practice, feels different and it looks better and it just has a better vibe to it. And then you get the news that, not only are you going to be out Jalen Walker, but there's a good chance that not only are you going to be out Jalen Walker, you might be out James Pierce Jr. for 8+ games. So it's just like, good Lord, man. Like, it's not easy being a Falcon fan. I'm excited because football's back and our birds are, in helmets and shoulder pads, and we'll call it Wednesday because we're almost there. So that gives you 2 more days till you get your first preseason action. So excited football's back, but this roller coaster ride and I'm done with that. So, but here we are.
Go ahead and shake it all out on the table in training camp, so when we hit the regular season, we can fly high and keep on rising. Avno in the chat with it early, as always. Shout out to Avno, day one faithful here. It says, Friday needs to hurry up. Time to play some ponies, even if it's preseason. Come on. Rise up. I'm going to appreciate the comment in the comment section. David, what's going on, my guy with the number 7 throwback jersey on? How are you doing tonight, brother? How are we feeling about the news coming out of Flowery Branch as a fan, as a guy that lives in Atlanta, a season ticket holder? You get the news first, so I'm sure you hear it all day, every day. How are we feeling about our Dirty Birds with reports out of Flowery Branch?
Yeah, the life of a Falcon fan. I tell you, it's It's definitely a roller coaster ride. I think on what the water boys always saying, the blood pressure birds.
Yeah, the blood
That,
pressure bird.
yeah, they always take you on the ride, but we're here for it. We can handle it. So, like I said, you get your highs in the morning, your lows in the afternoon when it comes to dealing with them. But we're gonna be here to support. Through it all. The injuries are mounting up for us and everything, and that's the balancing that you have to do with preseason. You want to see the stars out there playing, but this stuff is coming out of practice, though.
Right.
Everything, and
Not a game.
not a game.
Not a
You
game.
put it. Yeah, you want to put like Rick said, you want to put the starters in bubble wrap before before the season started. But hopefully the training staff can get everybody back on the field that they can. So yeah, that's where we are with it.
Absolutely. Kadoria in the chat with us says, I think the 8-game suspension is bogus. And if they do it, it's because the NFL always got something out for us. Chat, we talking about it tonight. So stick around for this hour podcast as we bring you all the information we can that we know about in this quick span of an hour, guys. Stick with us because we got a lot to chat about. Chat, let me know in the comment section as we go to Robert here to see how Robert's feeling about these Dirty Birds. Let me know in the chat, what is the one thing that has stood out to you this training camp? Any report that you've seen that has stood out to you on the TV or on the phone screen? What report has really stood out to you? Robert, what's going on, man? Glad to have you back with us tonight to talk some Falcons football. Always a fun time when Robert's here on the panel with us. Robert, how are we feeling about the reports coming out of Flowery Branch? And all in all, how's the week been treating us, brother?
It's just been out in the heat and all that. But, one more day in this heat just means we're one day closer to cooler temperatures, changing leaves, and Dirty Bird football.
Come on.
But, yeah, it's just – it's the life of a Falcon fan. I mean, you get good news, you get bad news, to the guys' points and all that. But I'm still cautiously optimistic. I don't think that it's doom and gloom necessarily. I think we still got a lot to look forward to. We're going to see a lot of stuff put on display on Friday night against the Broncos, and it'll give us a good idea as to what energy and what scheme and what strategy that Kevin Stefanski's bringing to this team.
Absolutely. We got some great topics to talk about tonight. Speaking of topics, David, were you able to find what we spoke about before the show? Was that something that you came across, or?
I don't know if I have the complete list, but I did have. Let's see.
Okay. Robert, you're gonna have to grow a beard.
Okay.
Robert. Looking around, you're gonna have to get a beard.
Okay. August 2nd, August 7th, we signed Christian Wilkerson, wide receiver. That same day, we released Troy Anderson. On the 10th,
Troy Anderson.
Jack Nelson on the 10th got injury waiver. Wade
forgot about Diablo.
Yeah. Wade injury, yeah. Wade, Lamique Brockington, and Malik Vernon. I was always cheering for him. He was safety converted to linebacker. That was one I wanted to see do good with the Falcons, but they finally waived him. We claimed the guard Jaden Roberts off waivers for offensive line help, and then the big name is running back Trey Sermon. Got signed yesterday.
Yep.
So those are some of the those were some of the things I pulled about. I don't know if that's a complete list, but
sounds pretty accurate.
Yeah,
sounds pretty accurate. The Atlanta Falcons making some moves, releasing some players. The first two off the name to be waived and cut. Troy Anderson, the first cut of the season, guys. I won't say it here, but DFU called it 3 years ago, guys. It was time for Troy Anderson to walk. Yeah, it's been time for Troy to go ahead and probably leave. No preseason or no training camp snaps, guys. We talked about it on the hill as soon as I got in the practice looking for Troy Anderson. I see no 4-4 on the field, guys. Troy Anderson out of Atlanta, official. I believe last week they made that official. So Troy no longer a Dirty Bird. Also, with Jack Nelson. Robert, we were just speaking about Jack Nelson and the depth of this offensive line. Now another one injury waived off the list there. Jack Nelson, no telling what that rehabilitation limit is there or how long it'll take to get him back. But a tough blow there to a young cat, and Jack Nelson, a big physical guy. Haven't seen much from him. He was a rookie draft pick from the Atlanta Falcons, so definitely want to see what he has in store. Alvin in the chat said his most standout thing to him was that Penix can freestyle. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but Penix has got the bars. Kadori says Diablo injured again, and Perkin Daniels is getting a lot of first-team reps. News came out this week that Perkins was actually taking reps with the edge position. So another name that we talked about, David, we spoke about that. Don't be surprised if Perkins would be on the side of the edge, and that he is. So obviously Zach Harrison as well, another guy that is back in the rotation now. Zach Harrison is back, healthy, rotating in at that edge position, defensive tackle, whatever they decide to run him at this season. And also Braylon Trice, another name that has been a standout name so far in training camp. It is only training camp, but Braylon Trice, a name that must show out this season if they want to make a spot, a roster spot. And to be honest, it's tough to swallow, but the deal with Jalen Walker just may make Braylon Trice a star in Atlanta, guys. Let's see what happens here with Braylon Trice. I'm excited to see. He was team captain his college career. He was a sack master, they called him back in college. Ready to see what he does here in Atlanta as we see a healthy training camp and a healthy version of Braylon Trice. Guys, the first topic of tonight's show, we're going to get to the Denver matchup here very soon and players to watch out for and who we think should have a good game and who could potentially be cut if they have a bad game. The first topic for tonight's show will be the quarterback situation. The most important spot on the field yet to be circled in, dialed in, as we would like to say here. We heard from Penix, what was it, guys, a week and a half ago probably, in a news conference saying that it could be 4 weeks. It could be 4 to 6 weeks or sooner that he would be medically cleared to play full football. It has now been a week and a half since that. Stefanski did release a statement saying that if Penix was not healthy and could not get a full practice under his belt, he would not play a preseason game, understandably so. With that being said, Tua has been getting a lot of these reps with his first team, a lot of reps with the ones, and I must say, looking pretty nice here this past week, Tua catching fire in this Stefanski scheme. With that being said, Rick, the question goes to you first. How much of a quarterback position battle is this? And should the Atlanta Falcons just go ahead and circle Tua as the week 1 starter here in Atlanta?
I don't even think it was a battle. I think it's pretty obvious that Michael's not going to be ready. I don't want his first 11-on-11 action being in a real NFL game if he's truly our franchise player. I think Tua has more experience. He has the more practice reps. He gives us the best opportunity to win. I love 9. I want 9 to be our quarterback, but I also want to win. I live and die by the logo, and Tua gives us our best chance. I think the hate on Tua has been way too strong. I think he's significantly better than people are giving him credit for. And I think if they tailor the offense around him, he gets the balls to his weapons, we're going to be successful. So I really don't think starting the first 4 weeks, 6 weeks, as long as he plays good, it's really that much competition. I think the best man wins. He's going to play. And, unless he completely bombs like Kirk did, I don't see Penix coming in, and I don't think we have a reason to. Like, why rush him back if we're doing good? At the end of the day, we're trying to win football games. And so I think Tua starts, and, I think to be honest with you, I think it's until probably 8 games at least. I mean, we got a daunting schedule, and there's a lot of players that need to be caught up. So I don't expect Penix to come in anytime soon, to be honest with you, especially at the rate in which we're seeing him progress through the offseason.
Chat, tune in here and chime in on this question here. This is for you guys as well, not just for the panel here. Chime in the comment section. How big of a quarterback position battle is this really? Or is it just a thing where Tua is solely taking the spot and the Atlanta Falcons are just naming it a quarterback battle? Cody, the question goes to you, and then we'll go down to David.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of in the same mindset as Rick. I didn't ever really think there was going to be much of a competition, not because I don't think Penix can do the job, but more so of, health concern. I was never fully convinced that he was going to be ready to go week 1. I don't want you to rush him, because if he is the future here in Atlanta, I don't want you to rush him out there and him not be ready to go. You want him to stay confident. He's a competitor anyways. But, I mean, still, there's something to be said about, running a guy out there that's not fully healthy. We watched, for my money, we watched Coach Raw run out there and do that to Younghoe Koo, to Kirk Cousins, and it broke both players. And so I don't want to see that for Michael Penix in this, in a new system with a new coach and a new regime, to be rushed out there and potentially, have, his career, ruined or wrecked or whatever you want to call it, because we rushed him. To Rick's point again, if we're winning football games with Tua, there is no reason to pull him out and to start Michael Penix whatsoever. Because again, like Rick says, I'm more in it for, as much as I like players, the logo and the name come first. I don't care what the name on the back is. It's the logo on the side of the helmet and the name across the jersey that matters more to me. So if Tua's winning you football games, you cannot pull him out. I don't care what it looks like. You can't pull him out.
Kadoria says stream cut out. I apologize about that, Kadoria. I did see the numbers drop down tremendously there for a second, and they shot right back up. So if we're retuning back in, I apologize about that StreamYard issue. Keep it rolling here on our end of things. David, that question goes down to you, man. Big time Penix supporter as we are here on the channel. When you hear the situation with Penix and Tua now at camp, Tua finally catching the scheme, as they say, Tua is as report from Falcoholic says that Tua has caught fire in the Kevin Stefanski offense. David, what does that mean here for the Atlanta Falcons? And are we finally at a quarterback hill here in Atlanta?
I don't know. Gonna sound like a broken record because I think all our views are the same when it comes to Rick and Cody. What we're saying, it's about winning football games, and the record's going to dictate if we see Penix. I don't think at this point he's going to be able to catch up with.
David, 1 second. Kadora says, can anybody hear? Chat, give me a 1 in the chat if you can hear us. Give me a 2 in the chat if you can't hear us. Obviously, you won't be able to do that if you can't, but if you hear us, give us a 1. David, please continue.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, I don't think at this point with the season so close to, getting to us, I don't think that, Penix will be able to catch up with Tua right now, and it's all about winning football games. I like I said, I always supported Penix, but it's about winning football games. And if Tua gets in there and he gets off to a hot start, there's no way that you can make that switch. Brand new regime, they're not tied to Tua. To Penix because they weren't the ones who drafted him. And whichever quarterback, we know Tua can be completely capable of coming in and winning football games and putting up big numbers. And, I know it's not about the stats, but I think that, he can, give you 65, 68% completion percentage, get the ball to your playmakers in space, especially with Branch. If you're accurate and they can scheme him open, the kid's going to be special. So I think that, Tua's skill set might be better suited for what Stefanski wants to do early on in the season. And, he don't have his bigger arm as Penix, but the accuracy, like we said, is, far and beyond what Penix has put up in the past. So I'm thinking if Tua gets in there and he's doing the job, ride it till it falls, the wheels fall off.
Absolutely. Robert, I'm pretty sure we all agree to that as well. Abnul says, who's got the Pokemon ringtone? That would be Cody. Abnul, that'd be Cody here at the top right of your screen. Kadoria says, for me, Braylon has got to make it past week 1 of preseason for me to get my hopes up. I feel you there, Kadoria. I feel you there on that. That is a honest and true point. Robert, coming to you with the quarterback scenario here in Atlanta. Tua obviously catching fire. As we look at the numbers here, I'm going to pull it up here. Give me just a second. Boom. Today's report from training camp, this is per Falcoholic, says quarterback Tua Tagovailoa, 7 on 7 passing and 11 on 11s. Tua's completed passes to receiver Chris Blair. Another name that continues to pop out on the screen here, guys. Tight end Kyle Pitts with a monster day, they said. Jahan Dotson and tight end Charlie Warner, as well as receiver Olamide Zaccheaus. Receiver Drake London did individual work, but no team sessions. Quarterback Michael Penix was 5 of 6 and 7 on 7s. Penix completed passes to Dotson, Zaccheaus, Jack Velling, Juice Wells, and Christian Wilkerson. Tua was 2 of 3 in 7s, completing passes to Dylan Drummond, Vinny Anthony, Cooper Rush, Jack Strand. We won't even talk about it right now. But Robert, how are we feeling right now as we look at the numbers and hear the report out of camp of Tua Tagovailoa and Penix now in a couple of weeks away, I'm assuming, from being a full go? How are we feeling about our quarterback stance as we stand right now?
Yeah, I think I know we still got to get through the preseason and anything can still happen in camp, but as it stands right now, I think you can just go ahead and just, circle Tua as the starter. He's looking very comfortable, in this offensive scheme. And, to everyone's point, he may not necessarily, need the arm strength of a Michael Penix, as long as he's accurate and, he's, getting the ball to his weapons and the offense is scoring the points, we're winning the games. I mean, that's what's important. And, as far as, everyone, being disrespectful toward Tua, I mean, I'll be the first to admit it. When I heard that we signed him, I was not enthusiastic about it. But, as we're all in agreement, we are loyal to the logo, not necessarily any one particular player. And I think a lot of what the disrespect comes from is a lot of fans will grasp onto what the national media will say, and they just form their own opinions off of that. And this is the same fan base that, is still divided to this day about, whether or not Matt Ryan was even successful here. He's the best quarterback we've ever had, and he still gets hate. And I don't get it, but, I support, whoever's wearing the black and red. I supported Jeff George when he was with us, for God's sake. So I'm definitely going to support Tua. So, but yeah, I think the job's Tua's, definitely for week 1.
Absolutely. Shout out to our live viewers tonight, 10 o'clock, rocking with DFU. Hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, guys, hit that subscribe button as we have grown 20-plus subscribers in the last 2 weeks, man. Shout out to everybody that has been subscribing and helping the channel reach the 1K mark, guys. So please subscribe if you're new to the channel. Ring the bell because you never know when DFU is going to drop some content. Also, if you're checking us out and have a Twitch channel, check us out on Twitch. Hit that follow button over on Twitch as we stream all our podcasts to Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook as well. Soon to be TikTok. I'm working on that. And also Spotify soon to come as well, guys. So a lot of things to come here for DFU, guys. So rock with us, hit that subscribe button. Another big deal that comes to the quarterback position, not necessarily the quarterback position, but quarterback play. The Atlanta Falcons have a true right tackle battle right now in camp. As the camp started out, Jawan Taylor was dealing with an injury absent. He is now good to go as the Falcons elevated him back into rotation. While he was absent, rookie Ethan Onawana has pushed himself into that right tackle conversation. Rick, we'll start with you. How do you feel about the right tackle position, as it is the offensive line has been a position or a spot that I has talked about at all, was with the situation of having depth at the offensive line position. Now that you're rolling with possibly a rookie headed into the season, I believe it was an undrafted rookie at that. How are we feeling about that? We're also looking at a veteran in Jawan. I mean, how are we feeling about the right tackle position? We still don't really know who the starting quarterback is, as we all believe it would be Tua. But how are you feeling about it?
Don't matter. Left-handed quarterback, neither one of them are mobile. Going to get hit from their blind side. Our right tackle is technically our left tackle. We're going to have all the best guys going against them. Very, very concerned. I'm concerned with our overall O-line depth in general. If Jake Matthew goes down, if our center goes down. I think we did pretty well last season with that guy. at right tackle, getting our quarterback killed and our running back killed all the time, and we're still able to make things happen. Can't be worse than that. But that's going to be a position that I need to see and I need to watch. The problem is now we don't have the depth. So can we play him in the preseason so he can get some reps? Maybe not. Maybe so. We'll see. That's a wait and see position. I think that's one of the ones. I think if you go down the list and you check the box off, we got stars, we got strong players in a lot of positions. Right tackle might be our weakest overall position, and that's very concerning for left-handed quarterbacks.
Yeah, Cody, the former offensive lineman, your thoughts on the situation here in Atlanta at right tackle?
Yeah, I'll say we're gonna get right on that one. I'll say if you guys want to watch me get my ass blown up, I would say God bless me with a lot of things, but 5'9" and height was not one of them. But I agree with Rick. It's kind of one of those really iffy spots for me. All you can do is kind of hope is that we get healthy at that position, and that we maybe hopefully find somebody that can step up. I would say I could have swore we. It looks like they took the activation of right tackle Juwan Taylor's off the active /pup list.
Yeah, he's back active.
He's back active. So to me, that's some really good news, because I think that's kind of who you want to be at that right tackle spot. Because again, to Rick's point, like that's our quarterback. Our two, our 1 and 2 quarterbacks blind side is that right side now. It's we don't have a right-handed quarterback like we did with Matt Ryan. Penix and Tua both left-handed, and that's a spot that you got to protect. I wish there was a way that you could get Jake Matthews to kind of flip over to that spot. I don't think it's difficult to go from from the right side to the left side and left side to the right. So part of me is like, man, I really hope Taylor is healthy, stays healthy, and can be, the right tackle that I think he can be. He's a big dude. Caleb McGarry, God, man, it's gonna, for all the people that complained about Caleb McGarry, I bet you're not complaining about him now. Well, I mean, you probably are because he retired, but that's going to be an interesting spot for us to see if Taylor can fill in the gap that Caleb McGarry left behind. But that's my biggest concern, man. But again, to Rick's point, you got that POS that's now in Arizona. By the way, have fun with your whole 0.02% chance of winning your division. Screw that guy.
Speaking of, Dave, we're going to change the topic and go to you with this one. The Atlanta Falcons, per ESPN, had the lowest percentage odds of winning the NFC South. Does that hold weight, or is it just another analytic looking for a conversation to go viral? Or are the Atlanta Falcons going to be this bad under Kevin Stefanski year one?
Very disrespected when it comes to some of these quote-unquote experts and who and the win total that we're going to have this year. I've seen as low as 4-13, coming out of some of these people's mouths. And I don't know, something is not right with the national media when it comes to the Atlanta Falcons. We are always, the butt of a lot of jokes. Even Stephen A. Smith, B. John Robinson is special, and there's nothing special in Atlanta. That little tirade he gave and everything. So, very much so disrespected. I think that we have just as good of a chance of winning the NFC South as any of the teams in the division. We can go 6-0. I can see us going 6-0 against teams, but it's you gotta show up on Sundays, Thursdays, Mondays, whenever we play them and everything. So it's a toss up because those teams are so evenly matched up into the division right now with the talent level and everything. So we just have to see how everything go when they strap up the helmets to get between the lines.
I have a theory why the national media disrespects us so bad, and I think it's our fans, to be 100% honest with you, because I think if you rile us up, like, our fan base does not hesitate to go after you on Twitter, on Facebook, on whatever. And so I seriously think that that Falcon fans, we kind of bring that on ourselves, because I know I've been in arguments with people over the internet for 2, 3, 4, 5 a week and a half, going back and forth over, stuff with the Falcons. So I think that's a lot of reason that we're just so hated, because we're a passionate fan base. Some of us more so than others, and some of us more right than others on certain things. But yeah, man, I've seen people go after, Falcon fans go after, these TV analysts. So I think they like to poke the bear a little bit.
I mean, they act like we have no quarterback.
Right.
That's the thing. And I'm like, we swept the Saints, and the games weren't really that close.
Mm-mm.
It should have swept Tampa Bay. And the Carolina, I don't know. I watched the game. I understand our schedule and I know all that, but I'm just like, man, I don't know. You guys aren't. I think you're just ignoring us because we don't have any star power that you like, in the quarterback.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Well, I was gonna say real quick, but to Rick's point here, I don't understand why people think that Pittsburgh's so heavily favored over us. I would say they've got as okay, so
they're in transition just like we are. They're in a transition year.
Well, your quarterback's what, 42 years old? How old is Aaron Rodgers? 40, 42, 38, whatever. He's not exactly in the best shape of his life. Who do they have to throw to at this point? And their defense, they've got they've got TJ Watt. And it's other than that, I'm like, I don't see
TJ Watt didn't eat us up.
I mean, that's a big thing, but
what game was that? My God.
But I just don't get it, man. It's just
Dave, all right, Robert, coming to you with this question here. We're gonna hit our last topic. I know we're at 30 minutes. We probably won't make an hour, but we'll get close. Robert, give me your thoughts on the Atlanta Falcons ranking last with the odds to win the NFC South. Does that hold water? Are the Falcons really going to be that bad? Should we maybe lower our standards and expect for a low winning season, or is this just baloney in the national media stirring up shit?
It's just more of the talking heads at ESPN, I think. And to David's point, we have just as good of chance of winning this division as anybody. We're in a transition year, but and also to Cody's point, I mean, sometimes we do have a passionate fan base, and we do bring a lot of that on ourselves. I think I've been guilty of it myself. One in particular, 10 years ago, before the season started, Heath Evans, former Saint and Patriot, who was on NFL Network, picked us to go 5-11. We wound up in the Super Bowl. And I personally called him out on social media. He never answered me, but that's a different story for a different time. But no, the whole Arthur Smith and Raheem eras are gone. This is a fresh start. We've got a head coach in here now, and he's putting together a good staff. I think he's going to get the most out of the talent that we've got. I mean, you don't win 2 Coach of the Year awards when you're in Cleveland by accident. I honestly think that it's just more of the typical BS from the national media that they have to make themselves feel important somehow. And that's never going to change.
Yep, absolutely. Falcon fans, we're at our top view number of the night. We're at 17 live viewers, guys. Appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Bring the comments to the comment section. Our last topic of tonight's show, and we'll close it out with this and give our shout-outs. The Atlanta Falcons have just one more practice, guys, before we take the field Friday night against Denver at 7 o'clock. Which player must stand out Friday night in your book to make a dominant spot? Now, keep in mind, it can be a starter, because starters will play preseason game 1 and 3, as Kevin Stefanski has already let the fans know. Who must show out in need to make a roster spot or in need of gaining a starting position? Rick, we'll start with you and rotate it around the panel, and I'll close it out.
Man, that's such a tough question. I got a couple of different guys. I think we really need Perkins and him to show up on the edge. I really need to see Avion Terrell, because now I'm kind of worried about our edge position. But I think I'm going to go with I'm going to go with, man, that's such a tough question because there's so many out there. I got to go with somebody that I've been looking forward to see for so long. So long. I had so much hope and potential. When I saw him and Penix get drafted at the same time, I'm like, oh my gosh, you got the captains of the offense and the defense. I can't wait to see Braylon Trice. Please, Braylon Trice, please show something positive on the field. Get through a game, make some tackles, make an impact. Don't get hurt. Get out unscathed on the other side and just show me that you're not Troy Anderson. Please.
Yep.
I'm going to go a little different. Instead of going with, one guy, I'm going to go with the unit, and that's going to be your offensive line. This is a good first test for your offensive line, especially with our right tackle position, kind of up in the air. Denver Broncos led the NFL in sacks last year with like 50, I think it was 57 or somewhere in that area.
Yeah.
So that to me is what's going to have to really stand out this first week is your offensive line. Can your offensive line hold up against these elite pass rushes to protect your quarterbacks? Can you protect their blind side? Can you protect your injury prone quarterbacks at this point? So that's what I'm going to be looking forward to the most when I'm there Friday. Definitely going to watch that offensive line, see how Taylor, I don't know if Taylor's going to play Friday night or not. Hopefully he does. Hopefully he gets enough time in practice. But that's where I'm really going to be watching. It's going to be watching that offensive line, see if these guys can hold up, protect our quarterback so we can, get that, not necessarily elite quarterback play, but that to Rick's, what Rick was saying in the group chat, give me top 15 quarterback play, and I think we'll be okay. So can our offensive line hold up to where our quarterbacks can be in that 15, 16, 14 area? So,
David, coming to you with that same question, man, what player or what group position are you looking at? And Cody, that was some great stats that you brought there with that topic there, speaking on the Denver Broncos with the amount of sacks they brought. That real test at our offensive line, an early test here for the Atlanta Falcons at home, on the home turf. Cody must have a great game from that offensive line. David, give me your thoughts. Who are you looking at? Who are you watching Friday night in the Benz?
Well, I'll take a position group and I'll take the defensive line and seeing what kind of rotation they're going to be able to put together without, the two Walker, possibly Pierce. I don't know whether they will even run him out there Friday, but I just want to see that, until they announce that he's going to be suspended. I'm still hopeful that we'll have him. I did go to training camp today, and I got a chance to see Mason Smith up close and personal. And that kid is huge.
Sir, yes, sir.
He is huge, and I want to, see was that a good swap out? Getting rid of Rook to bring him in to kind of be that plug in the middle of our defense. So I'll be keeping an eye on him.
Absolutely great take. Yep. Great take. Mason Smith, definitely hoping he can help us out in the run game this season, especially with the absence of Jalen Walker. Diablo, hopefully not to miss regular season game time, but definitely got to have somebody to stuff up that run game. Mason Smith, a big body that could do just that. Robert, what position group are you watching Friday night at 7 o'clock? As me and you just may run a halftime show here at DFU Friday night, but how are we feeling? Who are we watching for Friday night?
I'm going to give position groups, one on each side of the ball. On the defense, I'm going to be looking at the secondary. Hearing reports that, Mike Hughes has really played well this week, and he might, be the front runner for the CB2 spot now. And I'm thinking that, unless, he gets some time on the field and, really makes an impression, I'm kind of afraid that Clark Phillips might be on the bubble a little bit.
Yep.
On the offensive side of the ball, it's obvious the quarterback room. I don't see this team carrying more than 3 quarterbacks. I think Tua's safe. And of course, Penix, once he's healthy, I think he's safe. I think it's going to come down between Jack Strand and Cooper Rush as to who puts up the better numbers, who looks more comfortable out there. I think that, both of those guys will make it to the end of training camp, but just kind of going to keep an eye on that and see, who looks more comfortable, who's going to be getting the ball to the weapons a little bit better. It's going to be interesting to see.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm gonna go almost in the same direction as you, Robert. A position group, but a name in familiarity that we all know and that every Falcon fan knows, because this guy's not quiet per social media or anything else he does on or off the field. My guy, Kobe Bryant. I gotta see my dude go out there and give me some dominant play, because a guy that was getting early noise in training camp, a very stacked room in that quarterback position or cornerback position. Avion Terrell, obviously the second round pick, the Atlanta Falcons go out and grab. Mike Hughes, a veteran player there as well. Clark Phillips the third that was mentioned. Also Henderson, another guy that David is big about in that class as well. A lot of names that the Atlanta Falcons have to decide from. And man, oh man, how bad would it be if the Atlanta Falcons had to waive Kobe Bryant in year 2? Falcon fans, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, bring in the comments. If you're watching this after the live show, be sure to bring your questions to the chat, because I'll get with you in what we call the 5th quarter here at DFU. So be sure to bring the comments in the comment section, and I'll get to your question. Rick, give me a shout outs for tonight, and we'll get ready to close this podcast out.
I'm going to say shout out to all the teachers here in Gwinnett County, because they got the kids back. I've had them for the summer. Man, I was exhausted. We went to a new school here, and opening day, all the teachers had so much positive energy. My kids were nervous about going to school. They were super excited. All came up to them, wailing them in, bringing them in, making them feel comfortable. The principal, the vice principal, everybody was so warm and welcome, and it just made my girls feel so much better about switching schools, which is hard in elementary. They lose their friends, they lose all the things. And first weekend, they're super happy, super excited. So I want to shout out the Gwinnett school system. I appreciate what they're doing for us. Shout out to my wife and my family who are giving me time to, late at night on a Tuesday night to be here on the podcast. God for giving us an opportunity, and thank the Lord for NFL football. We are so close. I can watch TV again. I don't even watch TV. Thank you. I can watch, sit back. I'm just super excited. Even Friday, we're going to get hype. I can't wait.
Yes, sir. Cody, shout outs for tonight, brother. Appreciate you coming through tonight with us. Shout outs.
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, as always, got to give a big shout out to the man upstairs. We all made it through the day. We all woke up. We got through work, and, it gave us, lungs in our breath so we could come on here and talk about our Dirty Birds, So big shout out to God for that. Man, always shout out to you guys coming on and talking Dirty Bird football. This is one of my favorite things to do. I love, coming on and being on with other fans that are not only, passionate about it, but positive. I quit going on to Falcon groups because I got so tired of all the negative. And so it's nice to get on here and, talk to positive Falcon fans for a change. It means a lot, to have you boys on here and, get to talk, even if we've got different opinions, we may not always agree on things, but, it's just good to talk to you boys about the birds. Also shout out to, the subscribers, man, and the viewers. It's good to see returning, new faces that have come on, like you said, Chase, 20 plus, subscribers in the last, week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it's been, and seeing them return and come back and comment and keep things going. So, big shout out to, the viewers, the old ones, new ones, without y'all, there's no reason for us to come sit in front of a camera and talk Dirty Bird football. But other than that, shout out to the Falcons too. Like Rick said, I'm so ready to watch football. I'm so as much as I've enjoyed spending time with my wife watching Little Women of LA, I'm ready for football. So I'm tired of the drama and all that stuff. I'm ready for man TV. We'll put it that way. But other than that, boys, as always, rise up.
Rise up, Mr. Davis. Shout out for tonight, brother.
Well, like I said, good Lord above, as always. I like to, take a, pause and slow it down. I always run through it. Thanking my family for everything they do for me. The support they give and everything. Especially the wife. I always, encourage me to, get on the platform and voice my opinion and everything. She was, one of the biggest advocate for me to start. I always talk sports, but she was one of the advocates of me, taking it to the internet and, just voicing my opinion because, when I do talk sports, she seems to think I know what I'm talking about. So, she's been one of my biggest supporters. And like, Cody said, since joining you guys and everything, I kind of see myself, drifting away from the fan pages a little bit more. I'll
Yeah.
occasionally go there and talk, but it's more on on the internet, just trying to improve my knowledge so that when we get on the platform, I can have something actually to say and contribute to the discussion. I'm so ready for football. I even watched the entire Hall of Fame game this year.
So good. So we need to talk about that.
So yeah, that's how much we're looking forward to football and everything. Eager for Friday. To get down to the bins. It's still preseason, but just get back into the atmosphere and get everything revved up, getting ready for the season. So I appreciate you guys and everything.
Absolutely, David. Appreciate you coming through with us late night with DFU, man. It's 10:34. Rocking with the DFU. We got 20 live viewers in the chat right now, man. Shout out to everybody watching. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, guys. Robert, give me a shout out tonight, and I'll close it out with mine, and we'll get to rocking and probably hitting the hay here in just a few minutes. Robert, shout outs for tonight, brother.
Well, first and foremost, shout out to the good Lord above for blessing us with another day. It was another hot one out there in the field today, but got through it. Just so thankful for His many blessings, and it's been a whirlwind for the last couple of years for me, but just gotta keep the faith and just keep moving forward, and try to keep the peace in my heart. And shout out to our viewers, our subscribers. This channel is growing, and it makes us feel good, and you guys are the reason we bring the content. And as always, shout out to you guys for letting me be a part of it. Rick, it's good to have you back on tonight, brother.
I know.
It's been a while, and shout out to my family and friends, and to the Falcons themselves. Much love, and as always, rise up.
Rise up. And a big shout out to the 2 new live subscribers as we were watching tonight, guys. 2 new live subscribers during the podcast. Man, that's 3 podcasts in a row, guys, with 2 or more live subscribers during the show. Shout out to all you guys subscribing and tuning in to DFU, man. Could not thank you guys enough. Shout out to my awesome panel of co-hosts here, man. Could not rock the show without you guys. Y'all keep it interesting. Keep me wanting to do it, because if I didn't have you guys to do it with, bro, I'd be slacked off entirely too much this offseason. So big shout out to you guys for keeping me at the bite of things and rocking with me as we go through this long stretch of non-football content. But guys, it's back Friday night. Boy, do we got a podcast coming at you Sunday night, boy. Let me tell you, because we're going to analyze every snap from preseason game 1 and let you know our thoughts and opinions on that game. Big shout out once again to all the new supporters, all the old supporters. Shout out to the wife, man. 30-something weeks pregnant, still rocking it out, doing her thing with the babies. 2 kids under 3, and one's about to turn 2, August 27th. So, and then a new baby in October, man. Always making sure there's food on the table, just keeping us rolling over here on this side of things, man. Big shout out to her. And I want to give a big special shout out to a classmate passed away this past week. Candler Folsom, shout out to you, brother. Much love to you, man. Awesome childhood friend. Cool guy all through high school. Crappy way it had to go down, but definitely rest in peace, brother. And that's all I got tonight, fellas. Big shout out to all you guys, man, for being here, and a big shout out to all the live viewers, man. As always, as we say here on the channel, rise up, A-Town down. Check me and Robert live halftime show here at DFU Friday night. We out of here, man. A-Town down.